the groove.
Wow.
Okay. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. This is another episode of the Scoped Exposure podcast. This is our August Listen Up podcast listening party. Joined as always by my good friend Alien Matt on the other side. How's it going, homie?
The one that dwells from Kelowna.
Yeah, I think before we were officially recording, you were saying Kelowna-fornia. I think
Yeah,
that's the term you were using.
sorry. Let me re-correct myself. Hello, my name's Matthew. I'm from Kelowna-fornia.
Yes.
Beautiful BC. I'm doing good.
It seems like there's been a lot of things in the last couple of weeks as far as like, Boise, BC, Kelowna, California, or whatever it is.
I want to know the backstory on that. Boise, BC.
There's no context needed. Boise is BC and Idaho
That's
is
true.
BC also.
Idaho.
But before this episode gets too off the rails right off the hop, for anyone who's maybe a little bit newer to the podcast or has been checking out or knows that this isn't a formal interview with like a person in hardcore, this is our listening party style podcast. So what we do is we have a Spotify and Apple Music playlist that we update every month with all like the cool and heavy hitters, bands that are putting out new music, try to give them a little bit of spotlight. And on these podcasts, we go a little bit deeper. Matt picks 5, I pick 5 from that list, and we go, talk about the song, talk about the band a little bit, and we all get to listen and play around with it. So in addition to, that, this is going to be a trial run for another thing that we've been working on in the Scoped Exposure podcast land. For those who are watching the episode, you'll just see Matt and myself, but also in the call is Jordan, who's on the Scope team, who is going to be, I've teased this a couple times on the podcast, so any true fan is going to know, now this is coming. But we've been talking about doing a soundboard, since the start of season 2 of the podcast. So Jordan and I have been working heavily. I think a proper episode where we talk about each soundbite specifically and the backstory around some of them. But this is just going to add another layer to the show. And, Jordan, do you want to show the people, the potential of what a soundboard brings to the table?
Unfriggin' believable.
Yeah, exactly. This podcast is going to get unfriggin' believable.
Play the fight, Rick. Play it.
We have leveled up.
Yes,
Achievement unlocked.
we have leveled up. We're going for the W for hardcore podcasts. But
it's full of dank memes in here.
There's a ton of dank memes. I've pulled a lot of things from like the hardcore world, but just like funny things that I've seen on the internet as well. So you might hear Jordan just splicing something in when we're talking about a certain band or whatever. So I'm really excited to give you a creative tool to be able to add a layer of comedy to this already ridiculous show.
It might only be literally the one sound, which
Perfect.
Jordan
you'll
has
know which one I'm talking about once you hear it.
Yeah. Once I start to trip up, you'll start to know a certain soundbite that Jordan frequents to make me feel a little bad. But it's all in good fun. I'm really excited to be listening to some new music with all my friends here. But before we get into music, as always, we got to check some bevs before the show starts. Matt is pouring some hot coffee.
Spilling.
Are you spilling on yourself?
Unfortunately. That did not work out well. But
Are you just drinking some black coffee?
I am. So I've converted. I don't know how I feel about this, but I can now drink black coffee without any sugar or cream, which saves me a lot of money. But yeah, that's something I've accomplished in 2021.
Yeah, I'm going to go on record and just say, like, I think the proper way to enjoy a coffee is to drink it black. I feel like sometimes when you're drinking gas station coffee or something that's a bit cheaper, maybe you need a little bit of sugar, a little bit of milk, whatever it is.
And I think I think that's exactly it. Because I'm drinking not cheap coffee and I'm actually like going out and picking out the right brew, the right style, is that
Totally.
now it's like I'm not drinking Folgers. Nothing against that coffee, but I absolutely cannot drink that straight, nor can I drink it at all.
Hmm.
And so I'll just slide right into it. And I'm drinking Kicking Horse again, my absolute favorite,
Yeah.
other than Town. And it's the cliffhanger. I don't know. Yeah,
You're
the
giving a lot of
cliffhanger.
props to Kicking Horse. Like, we're
I-
almost at a point in the show where, we need to be choosy of what we plug, because I would rather these people just sponsor the podcast versus like giving them all this free promotion.
Well, the best way. Yeah, never mind. But yeah, I love Kicking Horse, and I spend a lot of money on that company. So
Yeah, that's
why
fair.
I'm
Well,
drinking
if anyone at
Kicking
Kicking Horse is listening, like, slide into the DMs
Oh, I
and
will-
send us some coffee.
Horse.
I don't know
That
if
would be
we'll
wonderful.
yeah. I'm sure any
They're
other coffee roastery
Canadian
is
based.
oh, they're Canadian based? I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure
Where in
they
Canada?
have Canada. Like, I don't know. In the BC.
Okay.
It's Invermere.
Invamere.
I'm
Oh,
probably-
okay. Yeah, yeah.
So
So shout out
We're
to
drink-
Invamere.
yeah, shout
If you're
out
listening.
to Invermere. It's a medium roast. It has hints of fruit and cocoa. So
Are you just
it's-
reading the bag at this point?
I am.
Yeah. Guilty. Well, I'm gonna be
What
yeah,
about you?
I
what
think-
are you checking?
so I've had my morning coffee, and so I'm kind of doing the second wave of caffeine, just
Ooh,
a little bit more gentle, but I'm doing the Say When dirty chai.
Nice.
I'm doing it hot because it's like,
ooh.
it's a little bit cooler,
What's the temperature in Calgary?
Fall is coming into the mix. It's like wavering on 20 degrees Celsius, but
Oh,
like,
wow.
it's
guys are
it's an
warm.
overcast kind of day.
Oh,
So,
yes.
kind of cozy up with some chai.
You guys are currently hotter than California right now. Look
Yeah,
at
true. I think I need to run some chai over to you, Jordan. I know you're a big fan of Say When.
Yeah, I've been out for 2 months now. 3 months.
that. Uh-oh.
I got a lot. I'll bring some over next time I'm running through your neck of the woods. So yeah, that's what I'm drinking. Before we get into any of the music chats, I think that there's a couple maybe things in the Scope camp that have been going on or announced that I thought that we could like quickly chat about before we get into the music itself. I think the biggest announcement out of any of those things is we'll be covering PromCore 2021 in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which is very, very exciting.
Very exciting.
It's ironically, when that lineup was announced, it wasn't in the cards, or not in the cards, but it wasn't on our radar that was an opportunity that Aaron needed help documenting that fest. So I was looking at that as a potential, like, oh, I'm going to go to this fest and just hang out with so many of my friends, so many, people that have come on the podcast and I've been able to interview, and I could just kind of chill. And then Aaron was like, hey, we need some help in this area. So, obviously I'm going to say yes to that versus like trying to be like, I just want to hang out and do those things. So,
I just want to listen to loud music.
So I'm really, really excited about that. Matt, is there any, or Matt or Jordan, is there any specific bands from that festival lineup that you're excited that we're able to, capture some content for?
I'm really excited for Purgatory. I got into them a couple of years ago, and now that we'll be able to feature them on the channel, that's really exciting. And then of course the homies in Flashback.
Yes.
That's gonna be a really I'm really excited to see what they'll do this coming up show, because their production has changed drastically since I saw them last. And so their latest release was incredible, and it's really your 2002 Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Devil May Cry gaming, new metal. So
Yeah, I
I'm
feel like any of the
excited.
flashback sets we have on the channel, it's like a totally different band. And
Yeah,
like it's just pretty wild that that they really like saw what the band could be and like really
Yeah.
focused on that versus trying to play to like the hardcore camp. Like they're definitely riding a really creative wave with which I'm really really excited about.
Yeah, and so that's out of all of the bands, which there's a lot. I could go on forever about it. And then Rejection Pack, of course, too.
Yes,
And
yes, yeah. Lots of
yeah,
lots of Boise homies that I'm
Wow.
very excited for as well.
Boise.
That's right. That's right. I queued that one up for you, Jordan.
Oh, thanks. I was gonna do it earlier for gamers, but
Yeah. What's
missed it.
is there any bands that you're excited about?
It would be cool to see like While God Sleeps again. Um, I had to look it up, but I realized I couldn't type on my keyboard because my entire keyboard is now a soundboard, so I really messed that one up.
Just
Yeah, it was really bad. Fame, Zulu.
Oh,
Oh,
There's
did you mean FOM?
again, there's a lot of like really. Yeah,
Yes.
I've never had to say it out loud before.
No, that's fine. FOM will be sick. The fact that we can capture Zulu, that's been like on my list, since shows started coming back. I was like, I want to capture a Zulu set. Lots of friends. Shout out to Anaya and Braxton. But yeah, just being able to have a set of that band will be really, really sick. And yeah, just like a lot of up and coming bands that I'm really, really excited about.
what
Chemical
about you,
Fix.
Spencer? Yeah.
Is definitely on there. Fox Lake as well. Shout out to the
Ooh.
hip hop hardcore homies. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I'm very excited about, and I think the whole huge thing with Scoped is like being able to give that high level of exposure and representation to these up and coming bands versus like any of the hype hardcore bands that you see. And just a little thing for context as well. That weekend of Promcore is the same weekend as the festival that the guys in One Step Closer are doing in Wilkes-Barre. So that's like far in like the east or the northeast. Is that right? Yeah, the northeast section of the states. And in the same time, God's Hate is playing all these crazy shows in California. So all the listeners who are listening, if you're not at one of those three events, like, there's a lot of cool things that are happening in hardcore. So I highly encourage you either go to Promcore. If you're more on the eastern side, maybe check out the One Step Closer fest. I'm blanking on the name of that, so sorry to anyone who runs that who's listening. Or the God's Hate shows if you were able to snag a ticket. But I just think it's like really crazy to be able to look at everything that's happening on the the quote unquote hardcore calendar and getting involved and seeing some
Yeah.
badass bands. Matt was like burping. I was like, "Are you having a
Yeah.
heart attack? I don't know what's happening."
No, I just didn't want to burp into the mic and be that guy.
Oh, that's okay. I had Cam from These Streets on, and he was burping so much that I'm
That's
like,
right.
I think I have to
I was-
send his burps as a future soundbite for Jordan.
Oh yeah, I was listening to that episode and I every time he shotgunned a beer, I was like, I can't do that. That's 3 more than I can do.
Totally.
I've tried.
Yeah.
I've tried to shotgun before, and oof, it's not doable.
Yeah. So
Oh well.
I think one of the other things that I just want to say before we get into the songs, I just want to shout out anyone who's been checking out the Listen Up playlist since we started this in the midst of the pandemic. We actually hit 1,000 likes on Spotify, which is like super crazy just to get into that 4-digit category as far as engagement. So
Which is awesome.
yeah, I highly encourage if you're a Spotify user, go check that out. That just helps out any of the bands who we're still in that weird time where it's like putting out music and maybe not able to tour to the lengths and degrees that these bands want to kind of promote their stuff. So I think any little thing like that helps, and having that on your playlist that you check out on a regular basis to I think it's that thing where a lot of people might be a little bit lazy when it comes to checking out new music. So I'm just willing to fly the flag of here's where all the new music lives, and you can check that out at the top of every month.
We are your new Spotify Discovery Weekly playlist.
Yes. Fucking algorithm. Scoped Exposure's got your back.
We are the algorithm.
We are computer science man. All right.
Well, we're innovating. We're innovators.
Absolutely. So, without further ado, let's get into some new music. I am very, very excited for this list of 10 tracks that we got. As always, Matt goes first. So tell the folks at home what you've picked for us.
Well, I picked quite the list. I am really excited. This past month August. There's a lot of tracks that got released that were heavy, chill, and so little spoiler alert. This playlist is my 5 picks are just a wide variety of heavy to chill to clean to like gutter vocals, and it's currently 10 in the morning where I am, so it's really early to listen to heavy music, but we're gonna do it for the first track. All right, so for the first heavy track of the day, we're gonna be jamming out to Adversary from the Netherlands, a little overseas jam. The track that I chose is Retaliate, which is their debut single as a band. Ooh, a new band. They have a full EP coming out soon titled None Will Mourn, which will be coming out through Blindside Records. And I chose this track for multiple reasons, and the whole time that you're listening to the 3-minute and 11 song is the journey of riffs, and there's a few vocal switch ups in between, so it's quite the track, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, I think Adversary got sent to me from past podcast guest of the show, Boy from the band Hosser, and he was like, "Hey, this is a new band that I'm playing in. I want you, you can check it out if you want." I was blown away by the production quality, just so heavy. So when I was even figuring out the order as far as let's just come slam dunk straight into it, versus trying to warm up into some of the heavier music. It's no. Yeah. We're throwing you in the deep end without a life jacket, motherfucker. So.
Oh, exactly. We're throwing you through a journey.
Yes. Cool. Well, without further ado, this is Adversary.
Play the fight riff. Play it.
We will, Jordan.
That
Yes.
was Adversary. That was. Whew, I
The
forgot about.
that is the quality of breakdowns that every song needs to end on. Just
Oh, yeah.
absolutely crushing, tons of guitar little noodles, and just like those triplets and even quads just like hit so
Or-
fucking hard. That
I
band's
forgot
badass.
about that double kick. I forgot about that double kick. I love me some good double kicks in a hardcore song.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this band. Very excited for the EP that's going to be coming out. Soundbite Jordan, do you have any thoughts?
I don't know if I like my new title, but that was just saying. It was so good. It was. I don't know.
I was
I-
like
you
hoping
guys
that
were,
you would
like,
have
going crazy, and I
a
was just sitting there,
soundbite
like-
queued up for that, but again, this is the trial run of the soundbite section of the show.
It's good.
It's good. All right. Next up,
All right, Spicy Spence.
the next two tracks are actually going to be two Ontario Canadian features, kind of back to back. So the first is mine. We're going to be featuring Rust from Ontario, Canada. Shout out to the fucking boys, huge supporters of Scoped Exposure in general.
I love them.
So the track we're going to be listening to is called Selling Death, which is off their Promo 21 release. Like I said, Rust is not only like good friends who have been supporting what we do ever since we've been able to connect, but yeah, just like genuine guys. I believe most of the songwriting and production is all kind of in-house. So the fact that they can kind of produce this level of heavy, hardcore, and be able to just have it really punch and not have to outsource to do that is really, really, really sick. So yeah, I'm trying to push more people to check out Rust because I feel like they're an underrated Eastern Canada band. I think that they need more
100%.
attention, and I know that they're hungry and wanting to do more. So yeah, I wanted to throw them on the list here and give them a little plug.
I feel like Eastern Canada just doesn't get the love that it should. I feel like there's a lot of really underrated bands, and Rust being one of them, and my pick also being one of them. The next one, I won't spoil it yet, but yeah,
Mhm.
I would agree 110%. The boys do not disappoint every
Yes.
release. I'm really stoked that I found out about them and that we know them and that we just get to see them progress, because they were a couple of months or like a year and a half ago. I wanted to start exploring the eastern side of Canada for hardcore, and then like 2 weeks later I found out about Rust and I was like, oh, what's this band? I was like, oh, where has this band been? And so I'm really stoked to see them progress and see what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm very excited to once touring and doing some of those things, to have kind of the proper crossover, Western
Yeah.
Canada bands going out east and Eastern Canada bands coming out here. Yeah, I think that I even might be a little bit more in the cards, with the uncertainty of like the border. It's like, well, we want to go on
Yeah.
tour, but we can't go to the States. Let's at least go to the other side of the country.
Oh, exactly.
So
I've-
yeah,
I've thought about flying to Ontario solely to see Rust. So
of
I wanna
course.
I wanna
yeah.
try and make that happen.
Yeah, so shout out to the boys. This is Rust, Selling Death. Fucking go,
Let's
buddy.
go.
Disingenuous, friendship between running your mouth, but nobody gives a shit. Continuous, self-gratified cycle of moral suicide. Respect it to extreme. Stay in your fucking lane. Something you'll never find. You're only innocent in your own twisted mind. What do you think you need? Something you'll never find. You're only innocent in your own fucked up twisted mind. You know full well of the crime you commit. Come clean while you can. We're done with this shit. Yeah, yeah. Come on. Shit. What? Done with your shit.
That's been Rust.
Unfreaking believable.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you, Halo sound guy. Yeah,
I was also totally wrong when I was talking about one of the songs sounding like another song. It was that song that I was thinking of.
Oh, okay. So you think that song sounds like what? Do re mi?
So just about a minute 30 into that song where it's like dun 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 dun. I think it sounds a little bit like a doe, a deer. From
Oh,
Sound of Music.
dun, 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 dun. Oh, I can hear that. Okay,
Yeah, that was my first thought when I heard it.
it's probably
But
not
when I
intentional,
got-
but
Definitely not, but it's also like, it's a song about standard like chords and song. That's
yeah,
C scale, so it's not a big problem.
yeah.
Are we calling Tommy for a guest spot?
Do a deer. Nee, nee, nee.
I think what this
It's
means
just that
is
beginning little section.
we need Julie Andrews on this podcast. That's what we need.
Welcome to Music
We're not-
Theory.
we're not that
with
big yet.
Scoped Exposure.
One day we might be.
One day we might be.
One day. Hey, we hit
cool.
1,000 likes on our playlist. Let's shoot for the stars.
Now let's just message Charlie Puth and be like, "Hey, can you come critique these hardcore songs?" And be like, "All this music sucks." Why are they screaming?
The production quality.
Yeah. So
You
next
can't
up,
understand what they're saying.
why are they so mad? Who hurt you? All right, we're getting off the rails. I want to keep
All
the
right,
music
so-
flowing. So next up, Matt's
Sorry,
We're
Rust.
section.
staying in Canada. Yeah. So we're staying in Ontario actually.
Yeah,
Um
not even leaving the province.
so I forget how I think this was just another classic. Like I think Jessa actually. Shout out to Jessa.
Yeah,
I
Jessa
think
has
she-
been pushing this band even for me. So sorry, I cut you
Yeah.
off.
Shout out to Damage Control Hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
So Friction is a Toronto, Ontario band from Canada. I guess they're a new band as well. And I mean, So they're from Canada. The track that we're going to be listening to is Mine is Mine. And I just love the rawness. It's straight to the point and I could go on forever about it, but that's my take on Mine is Mine.
Yeah, and that track is off their latest EP called "Conditioned to Chaos." I don't think it's actually I think it's a self-release, but I really think that this band deserves to be on some kind of label, just because
Oh, 100%.
artwork is insane. You
yeah.
got the CN Tower like shooting fireballs at like the Toronto Raptors, dude. So whoever
Well, I
designed
saw
that, like,
shout out to the artist. I saw the cover art and I was like, okay, this band's got to be sick.
yeah, like when we joked on the last Listen Up podcast about Endgame and Living in Fear and having the crazy artwork for that split. And when I saw that, I was like, if
Sorry,
I
I
couldn't
think you
vote
meant-
for my own band's artwork for split artwork, not split artwork of the year, it would absolutely be Friction, because
Oh yeah,
I just
100%.
love really crazy ideas that just like
Yeah.
really push the boundaries. I love that.
Yeah. So move over, Drake. You've got competition.
Yeah. So without further ado, this is Friction. Mine is mine.
So if Friction and Russ could do a show together, that would be wonderful.
Yes.
then I can do-
Hopefully one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a band that I want to film for the channel very soon if we can here. You know, there's some, you know, we've been chatting back and forth about a couple things, but yeah, I'm hoping that's a band that I can capture sometime next year.
That'd be exciting. 2022.
Yes, absolutely. So next up is our good friends, the best band from Boise. Can I get some Boise sound bites there, Jordan?
He's teasing me.
Sorry, I was muted. Cut that all out.
Boise!
Give me some more. Give me some more.
Podcast is a disaster.
This podcast is a disaster because of you.
No.
Just kidding. I love you.
Boise!
Thank you. So the Kings of Boise.
Mhm.
Let's just say anytime I say Boise, you have to play that soundbite. So the Kings of Boise, ingrown, the one and only, putting Boise on the map, put out a badass record called Gun, and we're going to be listening to the the title track from that record, which came out through Alternatives label. You know, if you've been living under a rock, fix that. Learn about Ingrown. I think it's really cool to see a band of that power violence genre. You know, 3-piece, a little like it's just harder to get in. Like you don't have that front person to necessarily hype someone up. So the fact that this band is killing it right now and playing all these badass shows and getting a lot of traction is really, really cool. And the fact that you can be, I feel like out of every band in the world, Ingrown is like the only one that I feel is it's appropriate to title an album Gun and have a song called Gun. Because, you know, Glock hardcore, it's apparent.
Oh, yeah. Any other band that if any other band tried to do what Ingrown's doing, I feel like they
Yeah,
wouldn't be able to
shoot them down.
pass the check. Yeah, shoot them down with a gun.
Pun intended. Yeah.
Now, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just Marty's barking in the background.
No worries.
But yeah, I'm really excited. Without further ado, bark, bark. This is Ingrown Gun off of Gun. That track is epic.
My question
Yeah,
My question is, which gun are they referencing? Is it all guns?
all
or is it
guns.
just one gun?
All
So,
guns. All
I was
guns.
all guns. Ingrown is a all guns band. So
Yeah. Charlie,
That
if
was a
you're
fun-
listening, you should make a ingrown shirt that just says all guns.
all guns.
Ingrown,
Gun
all
inclusive.
guns. Yeah, let's be inclusive of all guns, please.
Yeah, no hatred towards just one specific type of gun.
No, none of
I
that.
feel like
All guns. We need to have
I
some
feel
gun sound bites there, Jordan.
yeah.
Yeah, because all I got is
See, what's going on with this shotgun in the sand?
That's perfect. I like it. Reference
that's
to
it.
shotgun. That's cool. I like it.
Yeah,
I approve.
It That's probably one of my favorite sound bites that we have for this show. I love that. Cool. Well, and for any of the visual people who are watching this podcast, if you see me leaving, it's because I have to check on my dogs. Who we have a new puppy that just for some reason thinks that she's Spider-Man and will just jump out of her crate. So trying to minimize any
Oh,
damage.
perfect.
Yes. Thanks for the dog barks there. Yeah, I'm hoping she doesn't bark that excessively. Oh, there it is. All right. Thank you. Matt, I'm gonna let you queue up this next thing while I go check on everyone.
Okay, so next track we've got a really experimental band in my eyes. We've got Mood Ring, which they are from Florida. Florida has a lot of really cool bands. What's your take on Florida, Jordan?
Florida's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I did watch their oh no, that wasn't a set. Like I did listen to the song and it was like I definitely wasn't expecting it
No, me
compared to
neither.
like some of the normal stuff we usually put out on
Yeah.
the playlist, but no, it was sick.
But
And Florida's got like a lot of cool bands that are coming out, especially with like all the coverage of Northern Alliance. There's a lot of really cool stuff that came out of that too.
oh, exactly.
Yeah. I think you guys are talking about Mood Ring, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the connection there, friend of the show, Gator, plays in Dog, Greyview, actually plays in Body Box, I think, as well.
Oh,
You know,
that's
we had
cool.
Harry.
Shout out Body Box.
Shout out to Body Box. But yeah, this is his like Deftones-esque side project. And I really dig it. I think it's really cool to
Oh,
be able to
same
have,
here.
you know, kind of another band that is is started by people in the hardcore space, but is not doing hardcore specifically.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like Mood Ring. I really like to see that band is on a label, and having this new song out with the reissue, I think is really, really cool.
Yeah, and after we'll listen to it, I'll explain why I chose it, because I don't want to give away the surprise
Totally.
aspect of it. And so, do you have anything else you want to talk about the song before I play it?
No, I'm gonna. Yeah, let's spin it.
So this is Mood Ring. The track that we're going to be listening to is "Empty Me Out," and it's this track was released with a reissued of their EP "Show Me the
Real You. Sorry, it
Show
is
Me the
just
Real
one
You.
word, but
Oh,
yeah, it can
okay.
get jumbled there.
Okay, show me the real you through undefined UNFD.
Yeah, I think it's Unified, but
Unified,
yeah,
okay.
they're out of Australia. I know, like, our friends in
right.
Vatican are on that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, track goes, it's a vibe, or
is.
maybe to tie to the band, it's a mood. So
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
yeah.
100%.
Without further
ado, this is "Empty Me Out," Mood Ring.
I've been thinking about ending things. I hear the voices in my head, but what do they mean? It's too late. I wish you could help me. Look from the inside, tell me, what do you say? Not good enough. Not good enough for you. I've been fed up. I've had enough of you. Empty me out, falling out from your mouth. Don't stick around. I've had my fill of you. All the noise that you made, I'm leaving your embrace. You're so coy when you faint. Your loneliness won't change. Your mind is back and forth, wasting time and like exposed, like an old brick wall. Happy to suffer just to get. You're looking in from the inside, but nothing matters. I think it's better that we disagree. Not good enough. Not good enough for you. I've been fed up. I've had enough of you. Empty me out. Falling out from your mouth. Don't stick around. I've had my fill of you. All the noise that you made, I'm leaving your embrace.
Ooh, just ends off like that.
Very
That was
sick.
a fun track.
Yeah. I think like a genre like that, having really strong choruses that Mood Ring clearly does, just makes it super, super strong.
No,
Super
exactly.
catchy. still having that like really low rumble of some of those like lower open notes, but you could sing along, you can dance, whatever you want to do,
Out- Oh,
whatever your
exactly.
mood is, right?
Yeah, whatever ring you want to put on. Yeah, my favorite part
What kind
was
of
all the
what kind of reference is that? What kind of ring you want to put on?
yeah, sometimes you want to put on like a silver ring, and then some days you want to put on like a black ring or like
Mm.
something that like
Sometimes
your
you want to
mood-
have the fucking
a
what's that
skull,
candy? The ring
Oh.
pops.
ring pop. Some days you want to have a ring pop. Some days you want to have a ring with your skull on.
That was a
You
bad
know.
joke, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand by it.
You're
Sh-
on scope. Yeah.
Shout out to ring
So-
pops.
Yeah, shout out. Sponsor us. So I picked that track because of all the glitchy transitions, and it sounds like something that would be on like a Matrix soundtrack, like early 2000s new metal kind of
Totally.
Deftones.
Totally.
So-
Yeah, I think if anyone from the new Matrix movie is listening, definitely consider moodering for your soundtrack.
Oh, 100%.
I'm sure Gator could create a banger track for you guys.
Yeah.
So for this next song, we're staying in Florida as well. Totally switching as far as genres are concerned, but staying in the state. We're gonna be listening to a band called Cold Steel from Tampa. So the track we're going to be listening to is called A Crooked Smile, which is a brand new single. And ironically, this track is coming out right after they released an EP just a couple months ago called Will of Spiritual Cleansing, which is out on friends of the show, KOTP Records. So the minute that Tyler told me that he was going to be working with Cold Steel, I was very, very excited. And then the single came out and I was like, it's true crossover, true thrash. It's heavy, it's fast, it's got
True Florida.
bite. There's a lot of really great things if you're a fan of that kind of genre of music to pay attention to. Cold Steel as well is just a hard ass band name.
Another favorite band of 2021.
Absolutely. So I'm very excited to give them a premiere. Without further ado, this is Cold Steel.
From here, there's no going back. Just another moment in time. We act like everything's fine. But what we do with our lives, we nothing's going right. Displacing the blood, another sick and no mind. I'm smacking dust in the last week's goods. So you got what you came for. Charging through the night like a thief. On your bended knees, you will pay for your greed. Your mistake was who you chose to deceive. Darkest days, the roads are paving, night the place so warm and sleep. What lies there beyond the trees, reflections staring back at me. Watch the days go. I feel so exposed. Wipe the slate clean, nosebleeds. I'm living so unclean. Just another moment in time. It's yet too late to decide. The light's fading on the other side. My mind is begging for rest. I know I gave it my best. Be a dead horse until there's nothing left. What the fuck have I done? Voices in my head, they just want me dead. Voices in tightness in my chest. I can't catch my breath, is this the end? Slowly losing power in my final hour. I never wanted this, so if I fail, just know I didn't fucking quit.
That was Cold Steel. Thoughts on that, Jordan?
That was so sick. It's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, It's just like through the entire thing. It was just so good.
exactly.
Oh,
Oh,
is it puppy time?
it's puppy time.
puppy time.
It's puppy time.
Put
Yeah.
the headphones on the puppy.
She's just gonna chew it.
I didn't get the memo that we're supposed to bring our dog to work.
Well, no, it's just like I heard her getting out of her cage, and I was like, all right, now you're
Right.
gonna join us on the podcast.
You know, I should have queued this up right. I should have loaded my Nintendogs on my 3DS. I'll come prepared next time.
Yeah.
We can show up for dogs. I know what I'm doing later today.
Shout out to Nintendogs.
That's a Nintendogs.
Yeah,
Nintendo, please sponsor us.
Yeah.
that's a sponsor. That's where they
That's a
actually have
sponsor.
money.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cold Steel. Stoked to see what they do next.
I want to
Um,
see that band.
Yeah, just like so many like, switch ups from like the just single chugs to like the really fast like hi hat double time part.
exactly.
So yeah, that band is doing something right. I hope that they're doing more. And KOTP has like a banger release, I'm sure, coming down the pipe
yeah.
at some point. Minnow, don't leave. You have to stay on the podcast if you're gonna not be in your cage. Matt, cue up the next one for us while I'm.
Okay. So next off, we got a.
This podcast is a
Ash-
disaster.
So next up, we got Better Off. They're from Nashville, Tennessee. No, we are not featuring country, but it is quite the switch up. The track that we're going to be listening to is No Drama, which is off their new album, self-titled album. I'm really, really excited for this because it's a complete switch up from Cold Steel, which I'm all about that, and it's one of the switch ups that I was really stoked for, and I could go on for days about this track, but I won't say too much, but I'll say that it's a nice like middle chill track.
Yeah.
They reminisce of Tumblr and MySpace days.
Yeah.
IMO.
I'm gonna tie kind of a similar I guess thought to what I was saying about Mood Ring as far as like people in hardcore that are doing other types of bands that maybe aren't necessarily hardcore but like hardcore adjacent. Like
Yeah.
like you would say with like a Citizen or a Baseman or things like that. I feel like
Cloaker.
these guys fall into that similar realm. Like I've
Oh,
seen
totally.
the main vocalist of Better Off fill in on bass for like Gideon. So
Oh, really?
yeah.
That's cool.
So
I
I
find a lot of. Oh, go ahead.
no, you go.
I find a lot of like the hardcore scenes being more accepting to adjacent hardcore now in the last couple of years, and it's
Mhm.
not so much like, oh, we have to like only be tough guy mosh like riffs. That it's like, hey, it's okay to listen to adjacent like Citizen or Cloaker, and
Yeah.
most,
And even like still go off when you see that live. Like I would
Oh,
stage
exactly.
dive to Better Off, no questions asked.
yeah, I mean, even like Turnstile, for example, they've had such a shift in genres that it's like everyone's like, oh, you could just doing chill guitar parts and still have a hardcore mosh pit
Yeah.
kind of idea. So I'm really stoked for this track, and it's definitely a nice little like relaxing, like, oh, we've been listening to heavy tracks now. Let's
Yeah,
chill out,
this
drink
is
some coffee.
this is the palate cleanser for the last three songs that we have. But yeah, I'm really excited. Big fan of Better Off.
Mhm.
And yeah, let's all just chill and just
Let's
vibe
say,
out for a little
grab
bit.
your coffee, grab some chips.
Grab your dog
you-
if you have it.
Yes. This is No Drama by Better Off.
bother to pat myself no karma, to give myself no drama, to find a way to go out far so no one else can top us, to pat myself no karma, to give myself no drama, 'cause I've been moving fast, while you were in your bed like a piece of broken glass, flipping through the pages, always wishing for the past, but nothing ever comes, so you get up off the ass. Tell me that I'm wrong, or we should take the blame, 'cause you can't walk around this place like everything's the same. I've been taking ditches, you've been looking for a grave. I hope you remember this next time you say my name. To clear a scene out in my car for anyone who bothered, to pat myself no karma, to give myself no drama, to find a way to go out far so no one else can top us, to pat myself no karma, to give myself no drama.
I have to apologize
Shout
to
out- the audio listeners won't see this, but the video watchers will be like, Spencer's just has his hands full You know
of
what?
these dogs.
Okay, you know what? We're not. Yeah,
He's
We're
negligent
doing
of
it
the
live.
podcast, but not negligent for his dogs. It's okay.
we're
Thank
doing
you.
it live.
Thank you for
know what?
going
We're
to bat for me.
We're real people. We're real people. We have responsibilities.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure there's people walking
Shout
their
out-
dogs right now, and they're like, "Oh, blah, blah."
Yeah.
So
What's going on? Yeah, no. Shout out to you for showing the real lifestyle of having a dog. I feel like people. Short tangent. I feel like people that want dogs think it's this perfect lifestyle, but then like you, Spencer, are just showing people what having a dog is really like. So shout out to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just like, guys, let's keep going. So like, they're eating these treats now. Let's keep getting the music so we can maximize the time.
Yeah.
So we got 3 more tracks for this episode.
Last
Appreciate
3
everyone
heats.
listening this far. You know, and I feel like, you know, we're not putting the sleepers at the end. I wanted to end strong on this with some like really banger tracks.
Yeah.
So these next 2 are both bands from the United Kingdom, which I'm really, really excited about. This is my pick. The band we're going to be listening to is called Guilt Trip, and they're from Manchester. The track we're going to be listening to is called Fraction of Time, which is the first single off their upcoming EP called Rain City that will be out October 19th, 2021. Quick little sidebar. Guilt
Yeah.
Trip is one of my favorite European hardcore bands ever.
Ooh.
Everything that they've put out, River of Lies, Unrelenting Force, that has all been like one of my favorite like blends of like thrash, but the, you know, classic European kind of almost like beatdown-esque kind of style. Love the vocals. Everything is on point in my opinion. And this is just, again, like a single that's showing that they are still active, they're still doing things, and I hope that more people, when they talk about European hardcore, have them in the conversation because they're very, very sick.
100%. They're one of my favorite bands. They're definitely up there.
Yeah. So without further ado, Guilt Trip, Fraction of Time,
DJ,
Manchester.
Spin that.
Let's go.
Spin the track. Let's rock.
Switch beats on a fraction of time. We'll stand there with the mystified. Fight suffering to watch it fade away. Should I feel such fucking hatred? No! I'm praising Tommy on the thousand times. But now I'm praying that you live it forever. tell me 1,000 times. Never think that you live it forever. The more I fantasize, the more I feel confined. Then the more I hate, and the more I bleed. All I see is red. I think I've waited for long enough. So what's your fucking possible do? Everything that I feel inside of me, feel all that I am. I'm afraid you tell me 1,000 times. Now I pray that you live forever. Everything I love decayed to dust. Feel all that I am. Maybe my forgiveness will sink you deeper than I ever can. Now you're a Christian and suffering. It's the only thing that you have left. It won't be long until the weight of your conscience crushes through your fucking chest. Through your fucking chest. Your eyes and your nose is giving. My premonitions will dissolve inside. I couldn't take his blood on your hands, but I could live with yours on mine. The more I fantasize, the more I feel confined. And the more I hate, and the more I bleed. All I see is red. I think I've waited for long enough. Everything that I feel inside of me, feel all that I am. I'm afraid you tell me 1,000 times. Now I pray that you live forever. Everything I love decayed to dust. Feel all that I am. Maybe my forgiveness will sink you deeper than I ever can. The more I fantasize, the more I feel confined. Then the more I hate, and the more I bleed. Now you're a Christian and suffering. It's the only thing that you have left. It won't be long until the weight of your conscience crushes through your fucking chest.
Wow, that was cool.
Yeah, that end breakdown, it's like there's so many moments where you think that's the end, and then it's like,
Yeah.
gotcha. And then you're like,
I
oh, this
for-
is the end. Gotcha again.
I forgot about that little change up in the middle.
Yeah, it's a nice little bridge section. I like that.
Nice little like whoa.
It makes that
journey
last
you in-
breakdown just really pop with that like contrast of
100%.
parts back to back.
100%.
Yeah, I'm very into that band. Very excited that they're putting out something new because I've played River of Lies front to back many a times. Would love to get the opportunity to just see that band live, even if I'm not filming it. I would probably film it, but I would almost need someone side stage that I can hand the camera off to, so I could just jump on some people for parts of that song. Super heavy.
Do
Super
a good
badass.
old crowd killing, as they say.
Yeah, the good old spicy spin
Oh,
cartwheel into the crowd. That's my go-to mosh move.
Mm-hmm. The man of cartwheels.
Yeah. So last two,
We're- we are at that time, the unfortunate womp womp time of
Womp
the
womp.
podcast. We're on
Well,
the
we
last
got we
two
got
tracks.
2 bangers left.
Oh yeah, we got as you were saying, another UK band, another. I love UK hardcore, and so when I heard this track, when I heard about Frantic State, I knew I had to feature them because I love their simplistic, raw sound. They're from Leicester, UK. Then the track that I chose is My Vibe, which is off their new EP titled The Explosive Tape.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot about moods and vibes, and it feel like it's all been, hinting at an actual song called My Vibe
Oh, exactly.
coming up down later. Wow, I just burped and it just like rang in my nose. Has that ever happened
Those
to you?
are the worst. Oh yeah, a lot. Yeah, it's happened. It's the worst. I hate it when that happens.
Jordan, do we have any explosive sounding sound bites? This is all
I
like
don't think so, actually.
practice for when we have.
This is great. I love
Uh,
this. Just think, a year from now, when we have over 300 samples, we're gonna listen to this and just go, oh, the things we didn't know.
Yes.
Yeah, we have no explosions
All
or
right.
anything.
Well, maybe
like
that's
that.
something that we can add in for next time.
Boom. I got you guys. Boom.
just Matt saying boom.
A
Just
sample.
while your microphone's in your mouth.
Yeah.
That's your explosion right there.
Boom. Boom. All right. Enough goofing around. I'm really excited about this track. Great pick from
Yeah.
Matt. So this is Frantic
Thank you.
State from Leicester. My
Woo.
Vibe.
Frantic! Nothing, my way, no one who isn't true. Can't kill the way I feel, not till the day I feel. The time, lost up, there's only getting wrong. Not settling this pain as I go against the grain. This world is mine, and you can fucking stop me. Oh. My name, my wounds, I will never regret. This is my way. Take back what's mine. No one who can see, who takes a kid I can. Turn back, this is the plan my chosen. No longer bent and broken. I'm not in fear, okay. Turn the place, I've had enough. My new age, I'm setting up. I found my tribe, I feel alive. Please don't kill my vibe. It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. The world is dead. The world is yours. It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. The world is dead. The world is yours. I will play high. I'm standing tall, I'm standing proud. Forget what I know. I'm taking the time to grow. The lesson lives, the lesson knows. I could survive. This thing ain't done. I'm putting all on show. I'm never letting go. Set the place, I've had enough. My new age, I'm setting up. I found my tribe, I feel alive. Bitch, don't kill my vibe. It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. This world is dead. The world is yours. It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. This world is dead. The world is yours.
Very sick.
We got the UK features coming out.
Yes. Yeah. Always love to feature some international artists here on the show. And
Oh yeah.
I thought Minnow could join us for this last one. Are you being bitey?
Oh yeah.
Are you being bitey? I let you pee during that one song. Oh, okay. You're just squirmy. Just find a spot. There you go. All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. We got one more before we say sayonara, farewell.
Au
However,
revoir.
au revoir. Shout out to the French, to the French language. We got Never Ending Game from Detroit, Michigan.
Ooh.
Coming in with a heater track
Oh
called
yeah.
But Not For Me, which is off their new EP titled Halo and Wings, which just came out on Triple B Records. Arguably one of the most bands to watch out for
Oh, 100%.
for next year and just
100%.
into the next few months here.
Oh, go ahead.
Just band's badass, great songwriting, great blend of a lot of different things. It's tough. There's melody, there's riffs, there's breakdowns, there's pickups.
Really.
Yeah, this band is in a league of their own, and definitely
A
one I
mosh
want to
pit.
see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A mosh pit that I would not want to enter.
Yes. Yeah. It would be very violent, very ignorant, and especially from Detroit, from the friends that I've made from Detroit, it's one of those places that has brutal mosh, and I feel like Neverending Game being from there has set that as the standard. So really excited to listen to this track. It's been on repeat for me since it came out, and check out the new album or EP if you haven't already.
If you've been sleeping under a rock.
Yes.
But if you haven't listened to it yet, well, we're about to play it for you.
Absolutely. So without further
right.
ado, this is full
oh.
all for you, but not
DJ.
for me. Never Ending Game, baby.
Feels like doubt, world's pushing down my head. Life's hanging on by a thread. It works out, just wait and see. Tell me work for you, but it don't for me. And the world's in your grasp. All I am slipped through my hands. No one hears when I scream. It's all here's for you, but not for me. But not for me. Some people have it all. I was born with my back to the wall. But not for me. Path of life, you know where it leads. But not for me. So you see, I've been having complications since I was conceived. Feels like a switch was never flipped for me. Shit is on, it only gets worse. Your life a gift, my life a curse. Life a birth, real on earth. How will it always be, but not for me. But not for me. Some people have it all. I was born with my back to the wall. But not for me. Path of life, you know where it leads. But not for me. When you fall and lift you up. But for me, no one gives a fuck. That's the way it'll always be. They want the world for you, what about me? Because better you know it's true. Another thing for me and you. Easy enough to make it through. When you know the world made room for you. The world made room for you, but not for me.
Yeah, that track is great. It definitely puts it into a weird like, did they hear the soundbite first and name the song that, or did they just find a soundbite in the midst of writing that?
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, but the band is badass, track is badass, whole EP goes. So shout out to Neverending Game, Detroit hardcore at its
Shout
finest.
out to Detroit. Oh yeah, the forerunners, the poster band of Detroit. I shouldn't say that. There's probably a lot of other bands that.
Yeah, no, they're really waving the flag for that scene. A lot of
Yeah,
great
I-
bands from Detroit as well. Shout out to Big Deal, Enemy of God, so many.
Yeah, so many. Yeah,
So all that being said, that wraps up our August recap listening party podcast. Thank you everyone who made it this far into the episode. Thanks for being patient with all the dog shenanigans. You know, I'm trying to bring this dog on for some clickbait.
we are a pet-friendly podcast. Next time I'll come prepared with my Nintendogs.
Yes.
I'll showcase my dog.
Yeah, and I'm really excited that I guess like us curating a list of all the new stuff that's coming out in hardcore, even with a lot of uncertainty in the world. We've just become a source for people, and I think that's very, very cool. And doing these podcasts is just fun to be able to like listen to songs, talk about them a little bit, goof around, and I hope you guys had fun listening.
As much as we had fun talking about them.
Obviously.
It's always a good time.
Yeah, and very excited for all the soundboard stuff that we're gonna have in the future.
Oh, exactly.
This is just the beginning. There's gonna be a lot of stuff that's gonna make this podcast just have a. It's like a.
This is the prologue.
Prologue is the correct term for that. So, shout out to Jordan for jumping on and
Yes. Shout
throwing
out
some
to
sound bites in the mix.
Chopper of footage.
Do you have any bites
Yeah,
to end
sure.
us off with?
Stay the fuck up and stay blessed, motherfucker. I love you.
That's the perfect one. Shout out to Machine Gun Benny, sending us off on some very wise words. Thanks so much for checking out the Scoped Exposure podcast. Go listen to the Listen Up playlist. It's updated every month. All new hardcore shit on Spotify and Apple Music. By the time that maybe this comes out, we should have a September recap coming down the pipe.
Which is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Every month. It's every month is topping over topping.
Yeah. Once we get to the end of the year, we're gonna have to do some kind of like proper like. We're not gonna listen to every.
3-hour special.
Yeah,
gonna
there
have
will
a
be some
3-hour
kind of
special.
listening party for like best of 2021 or something
Oh,
like that.
that's gonna be a hard one.
Yes, and if you're down for that, let us know.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments below.
So stay blessed. We'll see you next time. This has been the Scoped Exposure podcast.